'cause there will be a time. Oh, oh.
Hey guys, and welcome on in to another episode of Getting Well with Terry and Friends, free NHL picks. I'm Terry, ready to break down today's slate. We have 8 games to talk about on today's slate. Of course, we will get to the recap of what happened yesterday, and what a day yesterday was. Unfortunately, not a winning day for me, but a memorable day nonetheless. So before we get into the chat and everything, we will jump into what happened yesterday in the NHL. Starting with this game here, Anaheim Ducks and Buffalo Sabres. Um, didn't really have too much in this game at all. Besides Paterka shot prop over 3.5 or 3 plus shots as a parlay piece. There was nothing really else. Frank for Toronto, I mentioned on the show, but I didn't really end up pulling the trigger much here in this one. Was kind of expecting a lower scoring game with how Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen has played recently, but he gave up 4 goals on 14 shots. Buffalo outshot Anaheim 37-14, but the Ducks won 4-3, and just a rough loss for the Buffalo Sabres. Dallas Stars and the Boston Bruins. A 4-3 shootout win by the Bruins. My under never looked good here. 1-1 heading into the second period. A few minutes into the second period, I look and it's 2-2. And then it stays 2-2 for a long time before the higher scoring third period. Unfortunately, Mason Marchment did not get a point. Matt Duchene has a lower body injury, which really messed things up for this game and for that line. So Marchment's point streak finally came to an end here in this game. Toronto Maple Leafs and the St. Louis Blues, I had the over 6.5, with both teams trending towards the over and high scoring games in the past. But the Blues had trouble scoring in this game. They only got 2 goals here, 4 for the Maple Leafs, but unfortunately, that was a loser. And then, well, we get to this next game, and I have extremely mixed feelings about this game. And this will, of course, be a memorable game for me, but betting-wise, maybe one I want to forget. Vancouver Canucks, Minnesota Wild. It was never, ever the under in this game. The last 4 meetings between the teams went under 3.5. Minnesota had gone under in 5 of their last 6 games. Vancouver, not on the road, but overall, was trending towards the under. But it was never the under in this game. The Canucks had a 5-2 victory. Of course, my under lost, so I started cheering for the Wild, and what a comeback for the Wild. And I'm a little bit upset that I went with the under 6.5 and not Wild money line. The Wild have dominated the Canucks for the last few years. They were 6-1, now 7-1 in their last 8 games against the Vancouver Canucks. And Vancouver Canucks fans talking a lot of smack and saying how they look forward to facing the Wild in the playoffs, and then mentioning that, the Wild might not make the playoffs. I would love nothing more to face the Vancouver Canucks in the playoffs. This team is looking like they are going to win the President's Trophy. Nothing else I would rather have than the Wild face this Canucks team in the first round. The Wild continue their domination over the Canucks. Yes, Casey DeSmith was in net, which was a surprise. But with the back-to-back for them, not really that much of a surprise. And if you look at what Casey DeSmith has done against Minnesota, he has absolutely dominated the Wild. He's been a brick wall when he faced Minnesota. But not in this game. I'm not looking at the comments. I see there's 12 so far. I'm sure if Nicholas Earl is here, he's mentioning the referees. And I will be completely honest. I did not watch the end of the second period and the very, very beginning of the third period in this game. I turned it back on once I saw all the hell that was going on. But so I can't comment on the referees, but I can comment on the final penalty that was called against them. When you've when you've just had given your opponent 3 5-on-3s in a row, it might be smart not to throw the puck out over the glass. You would think, having already given up for 3 5-on-3s, you might not want to get the Wild another 5-on-3. But the Canucks decided to do that, and this game, absolute domination by the Wild. Highest scoring game in the franchise's history with 10 goals. Kaprizov with a hat trick, Eriksson Ek with a hat trick, and oh yeah, JT Miller got one too, but I don't think anyone will remember that when looking at this game. So, fortunate loss for me. One of my worst losses in my betting career, but very mixed feelings on this game for me. Did cash some same game parlays in that one. Definitely did. Detroit Red Wings, Seattle Kraken. McCann continues his point streak with, I believe, the first goal that the Kraken scored in this game, a power play goal by McCann. So a nice winner there. And Joey Decord, his saves prop, I put 29.5 here because obviously he had not been confirmed when I did the show Sunday night. But I put 29.5 saves here. His saves prop was 25.5, which was absolutely insane that it was that low. Again, I believe he went over the prop early in the third period. So not the second period as he has in his last few games. But if you took adjusted saves prop, if you took 29.5, I think he went into the mid or late 30s. So Joey Decord saves prop continues to be money for the people betting it when the Seattle Kraken play. Nicholas Waugh over half a point. The Golden Knights scored 4 goals against the San Jose Sharks team. Unfortunately, the hottest line in the team, including Nicholas Waugh, did not get a point. So that was a fortunate loser there. Winnipeg Jets, Calgary Flames stayed off this game. 6-3 win for the Flames, who apparently haven't got the message that they're supposed to be tanking. Management is looking to retool this team, but the Flames continue on winning. So there's that. And we've seen some goals coming from the Jets lately as well. So they're not quite the complete under team that they were previously. Edmonton Oilers, Arizona Coyotes. I had my premium exclusive play on picks of parlays in the over 6.5 in this game. Thank you to everyone that bought that. It was a nice winner with this Coyotes team continuing to just give up goals whenever they play. A high scoring game here with the Oilers winning 6-3. So a nice winner in that one. Chicago Blackhawks, Carolina Hurricanes, Philip Kurashev over half a point. And he continues his point streak. I believe it's now 6 games for Kurashev. And a nice winner there, plus 114 for Kurashev to get a point in this game. On the top power play, on the top line with Bedard. Probably shouldn't be plus 114, even against the Hurricanes. So a nice winner in that one. And then this one, Ottawa Senators, Tampa Bay Lightning. We have the Senators with the 4-2 win. What is going on with this Tampa Bay team? I'm glad I didn't back them in this game, but you would think after getting smashed by Florida 9-2 that this team would come out and have a good game. But that is not what happened. So 4-2 loss for the Lightning in this one. Before we get to the chat, we will take a look at the updated standings because, oh boy, do we have some close races here. Boston with 77 points to lead the Atlantic. Florida at 1 point behind with 76. Toronto now in third with 68 points. The Rangers in first with 75. Carolina 4 points behind with 71. Philadelphia sitting there with 65. Tampa Bay Lightning, the first wild card spot now with 65 points. Detroit 1 point behind with 64. And then we've got the teams trying to catch up here, and they've got some work to do. The New Jersey Devils with 60, Islanders with 58, Washington with 56, Pittsburgh with 55. And then I know there's quite a few games left, but these four teams here shouldn't really consider themselves in the playoff race, in my opinion. I believe we'll see them continue to fall here. In the West, Dallas in first with 76, Colorado with 72, Winnipeg in third with 71. Vancouver, currently the best team in the NHL, 80 points. Vegas with 70, Edmonton with 67. The Kings, who are starting to get hot recently, 64 points. St. Louis with 60. And then right behind the Blues, we've got Nashville and Minnesota, both with 58. Seattle and Calgary, both with 57. So we've got quite the race here in the Western Conference. And then again, like the Eastern Conference, these four teams, especially the bottom three, should consider themselves looking towards the draft here. But now we will do it. We will go to the chat and see what everyone thinks about what's happened here. Terry, ... Hello, Nicholas. Hockey is poop right now. Yeah, yesterday was poop, but otherwise it had been going pretty well for me until yesterday. Other than the Canes winning, yesterday sucked. I got my teeth kicked in. Oh, I'm sorry, Owen. I'm sorry. Happy baseball season, everyone. There you go. Looking up. Yesterday felt fluky as F all around. Yes. College baseball, Owen likes North Carolina, -3.5. NHL is the upside world right now. North and East Carolina parlay. NHL is high scoring games. There you go. Careful with unders, as I learned. Love it, Nick. Let's ride. Carolina money, Carolina parlay, North Carolina, East Carolina, Coastal Carolina, South Carolina. Wow. North Carolina is a baseball state. We need an MLB team. And that could very well happen. MLB expansion sounds like it is eventually going to happen. It's just a matter of when. I worked for the Charlotte Knights for a while and still talk to the guys who work there. There are rumors that we're getting one soon. There you go. The only issue is location in Charlotte, but I say put in Raleigh. Tim likes that. Charlotte is better than Raleigh. Flames for the playoffs? No. Just figure out a way to make Truist into an MLB stadium in Charlotte. Terry, I had Kershaw and Jarvis over half a point each. Money? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Jake, they can't. It was originally going to be built for an MLB team, but because of the roads, they won't. They built it on. It won't be able to fit an MLB team, so they put the Knights there. Okay. They don't have room to build it any bigger. Player props and totals are more consistent than sides. That's been me the entire season. The entire season, it's been player props for me. The sides have just been wacky at times, but it is what it is. I know mostly just wishing would be a great spot for it. There we go. So we will begin by starting with our first game here, which is between the New Jersey Devils and the Washington Capitals. In this game, New Jersey -159 to -175. Washington +142 to +145. 6.5s right across the board in this game. We will see what we're looking at for goaltenders. Dun, 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 dun. Charlie Lindgren confirmed for Washington. Nico Doss starting for, Nico Doss not confirmed yet for New Jersey. First thing I notice here is Charlie Lindgren. He has been rough after a really great start. He has been getting lit up recently, and now has to face this New Jersey offense, which we all know has some dangerous offensive pieces on it. The Devils 3-1 in their last 4 games, 4 over, 3 unders, 1 game finished with 6 goals. Washington 2-1-1 in their last 4, 6 overs, 2 unders, 1 game finished with 6 goals. New Jersey 4-2 in the last 6 games between the teams, 3 overs, no unders, 1 game finished with 6 goals. Obviously, the total is 6.5 here, so not a 6. Um, Looking at player props here, Nico Hischier, a point in 10 of his last 13. Jesper Bratt, a point in 9 of his last 11. Jack Hughes, a point in 9 of his last 12. Tyler Toffoli has goals in 6 of his last 10, at least 3 shots on goal in 8 of his last 10 games. Ovechkin has a point in 7 straight, goal in 6 of his last 7, at least 3 shots on goal in 7 straight games. Did not get a goal in his last game. He got an assist. So kept his point streak going, but not his goal streak here in this one. And this is one of the few games, well, the only game that I don't have a plan, a single play, that is. Looking at player props, I would look at the Devils players that I mentioned, the top guns, as parlay pieces. For Washington, it would be only Ovechkin that I would look at. But I just don't really love this game that much. Of course, the way both teams are trending and the way they're trending in the past, the over might be a good look. But Nico Doss has played very well recently at times. So could see him keeping this game under, which is why I'm not going to pull the trigger. I do believe Devils money line is a good parlay piece in this game. Robert likes Caps money line. All right, all right. Dog of the day: Washington Capitals line 2 wide and New Jersey off Stadium Series. Then on the road. All right. Here to hit the like button and mention that Dallas second period over is on a 13-game streak. Catch you later. All right. Thanks, Addison. New Jersey team total over 3.5, -160, -110. Washington team total under 2.5, -142 to +112. Wow, big difference there. Washington team total. Feel like all dogs could win tonight. Yeah, we'll have to see. Um, I don't know. I can't back the Caps with can't back the Caps. Yeah, they're 2-1-1 their last 4, but I just think this team. I think the Devils are a team that's going to try to make the playoffs. Obviously, all teams are trying, but I think the Devils will be in a close race for the playoffs going down the stretch. Moving on along to our second game, which is the Dallas Stars and the New York Rangers. Dallas +115 to +120. Rangers -129 to -142. 6.5s right across the board in this game. Looking at goaltenders here, Scott Wedgwood confirmed for Dallas, obviously on the second night of a back-to-back. Igor Shesterkin confirmed for the New York Rangers. And it was a rough game for Shesterkin in his last game, obviously in the Stadium Series, but he was able to get the win. So there is that, but a high-scoring game for him. He's been very inconsistent lately this season. I've noticed, especially for the Rangers. Dallas 3-1-2 in their last 6 games, 4 overs, 1 under, 1 game finished with 6 goals. Going overtime in back-to-back games, the Rangers have won 7 in a row. 3 of their last 4 games going over 6.5. 2 of their last 4 games going to overtime. The Rangers have had success against the Stars, 4-1-1 in the last 6 games between the teams, with 3 of the last 4 games going over 6.5. And for me, I pulled the trigger on the over 6 yesterday. It is 6.5 now, so for show purposes, I'm putting it up here as a 6.5. I would still take it at a 6.5 here. This Dallas Stars team is just an over machine. They score goals, they give up goals. They continue to be an over team. And the draw +360, kind of have to here. Both teams going to overtime lately. This just has the feeling of an overtime game. And when it comes to player props, I do have one. Obviously, you may get your money back if he doesn't play in this game. But I have to take Logan Stankoven to find the back of the net. Anytime goal plus 650 is supposed to be in the lineup today for his first NHL game. Um, Apparently, he has a game time decision depending on health of other players. I've already locked him in here at FanDuel. Anytime goal plus 650, great price for one of the Stars' top prospects, and I will back him here to find the back of the net in his first game potentially here. Obviously, if he doesn't play, it'll be a push. So get your money back. But I had to pull the trigger here on Stankoven in his first game, especially in a game that I like the over in for sure. Was looking at Thomas Harley. Um, didn't see very many places available for him to get a point. That might possibly be later once we know what's going on with the Stars lineup. So maybe check towards game time for Harley. Not pulling the trigger on Marchment. His streak just ended. I just don't like that Duchesne's not playing. And putting Sam Steele, who's played well for Dallas this year, but he's not Matt Duchene, and just the chemistry just wasn't there. So looking at player props here in this game, Mason Marchment does have a point in 9 of his last 10. Thomas Harley, a point in 4 of his last 5. Jason Robertson has an assist in 5 of his last 6 games. Wyatt Johnston has a point in 3 in a row. For the Rangers, Chris Kreider a point in 4 of his last 5 games, and at least 6 shots on goal in 4 of his last 6 games. Kreider is shooting the puck a lot. Adam Fox has an assist in 3 of his last 4 games in this one. We will head to the chat. Dylan Strome skating with Oceanovi. Strome point assist possible. He skates power play 1. Yeah, I just didn't see consistency enough for me to pull the trigger. I believe there's some games where he hasn't, so I stayed off. A Dallas money line, Stars money line, plus 126. And Nick going the other way, taking the Rangers. Nice value on this line, fading Wedgwood. Dallas on a back-to-back. All right. Surprised you're not fading the Rangers after that huge win in the Stadium Series. Because the way I look at it, that's why I'm not on a side in this game, is because I can't take the Rangers off that big win. And then again, yeah, I don't want to take the Stars either. So I will hope for goals in this game. Stars shine bright on Broadway. Well, there you go. We shall see. They haven't really had much success against the Rangers, though. So that's something to keep in mind. Rangers and Dallas both solid penalty kill. Vinny Trocheck 3+ shots and goal was a parlay piece. All right. New York Rangers winning streak on the line. Yes, 7 games in a row. And even though Dallas is on a back-to-back, this is going to be a tough game. And I could see it being a letdown game for the Rangers, but I could also see the Stars possibly being a little out of sorts in this game as well. So no real opinion on this side. Just give me goals in this one. But we will move on along to my favorite game of the day, which probably shouldn't surprise anybody. Ottawa Senators and Florida Panthers. Ottawa plus 210 to plus 226. Florida minus 230 to minus 275. 6.5s right across the board in this game. We'll take a look at goaltenders, and I'll just actually refresh too, because we may have some news that have come out during the show. Here in this game, Sergei Bobrovsky already confirmed should be Jonas Korpisalo with the second game of a back-to-back. Bobrovsky, 6-game winning streak, 2 or fewer goals in every game, 946 save percentage over that stretch. What else can be said about Bobrovsky? He's playing lights out right now. This Ottawa team comes in 5-2 in their last 7 games, 2 over, 1 under, 2-game finish with 6 goals. Florida enters this game 9-1 in their last 10 games, 2 overs, 5 unders, 1 game finished with 6 goals. How have these teams played against each other? How have these division rivals faced against each other? Well, Florida 11-3 in the last 14 games between the teams, but that's not all. 10 of their 11 wins were by multiple goals. This Florida team takes care of business when they face the Ottawa Senators. 3 of the last 4 games going over 6.5. As I said, Florida's won 9 of their last 10, 5 in a row, all by multiple goals. Give me the Panthers -1.5. Locked it in +100 yesterday, -105 right now. I would take it at -105. I would take it at -120. I would take it at -130. I love the Panthers here. How could you not? This team is just dominant. And I will take them here against an opponent they've dominated in the past in this one. Looking at player props, Claude Giroux is a point in 5 straight games for the Senators and 7 of his last 8. For the Panthers, Sam Reinhart, goal streak may have come to an end, but he's got a point in 17 of his last 19. Matthew Tkachuk has a point in 19 of his last 21, and Carter Verhaeghe has a point in 17 of his last 21 games. Those are the players I'd look at for parlay pieces. Florida money line, a great parlay piece as well. I like them to continue their domination over the Ottawa Senators. Yeah, New York winning streak on the line. Missing Duchesne is critical. I agree. I do like the fact that Stankoven may start. I think that'll be a nice addition, a nice youthful addition for the Stars. So hopefully he does, in fact, make his first start. Wanted Panthers not at -275. They should be -375. This team should be like they're not big enough favorites in my opinion here in this one. Panthers money line is a parlay piece. I like it. Brady and Matthew goal over 3.5 shots each plus 1,600. Very nice. Ottawa, Florida parlay. Both teams to score over 2.5 goals plus 160. But Bob has been on fire. Yeah, I could see this game being a 5-2 Florida win. I could see it. Ottawa just falling short there. Panthers and Reg. We could go that route. Tkachuk versus Tkachuk. Both teams over 19.5 penalty minutes. There you go. Verhaeghe, and Matthew Tkachuk. There you go. Ottawa played better defensively last night. Yeah, but Tampa Bay is also a mess right now. And the Tampa Bay and Florida back-to-back is always tough. But I think it's going to be extremely tough for the Senators here. Panthers had a few days off. They're nice and rested and ready for this game. So absolutely love the Panthers here in this one. But move on along to our next game, which is between the New York Islanders and the Pittsburgh Penguins here in this game. Islanders +110 to +115. Pittsburgh -124 to -135. 5.5s and 6s available in this game. How these teams been doing recently? Islanders 2-3-3 in their last 8 games. They're lucky that they're getting to overtime in some games and they're getting that extra point, or else they would be out of the playoff race here. 3 of their last 4 games over 6.5, going to overtime in 3 of their last 6. Pittsburgh 3-6-1 of their last 10, under 5.5 in 7 of their last 8 games. Pittsburgh's won both meetings this year. The Islanders had dominated them previously to that. The Islanders have scored 1 goal over those 2 games against Pittsburgh, 3-1 win and a 7-0 win. Previous, though, this has been a high-scoring series, 5 overs, 1 under, 2 games finished with 6 goals. Looking at player props here, Matthew Barzal has a point in 9 of his last 10. Noah Dobson has a point in 9 of his last 10, an assist in 8 of his last 10. Crosby's got a point in 11 of his last 13. Brian Rust has a point in 5 of his last 6, a goal in 4 of his last 6. And Erik Karlsson has a point in 14 of his last 17 games. For me here, I'm on the draw. +360 in this game. Pittsburgh's taking care of business against the Islanders this season. I think we get a closer game here. Um, and I do have to mention, I mentioned his name, Noah Dobson, for a point, and I like him offensively. Dobson has been great offensively all year long, but he should remember that he's a defenseman, and then he needs to defend the net. I know he's worried about his points and how many points he's getting, but maybe when you've got Artemi Panarin coming, shouldn't pass the puck to him, and you should be worrying about defense. So, Noah Dobson, a great offensive player, but needs to work on his defense very, very badly, in my opinion. Looking at goaltenders here, no big surprise. Ilya Sorokin confirmed for the Islanders, having a rough year. Um, Alex Nedeljkovic starting for Pittsburgh and has the better stats than Ilya Sorokin, which I don't think anyone expected this year. So I'll take the draw here. Hope for a close game. Hope that Pittsburgh doesn't smash the Islanders. Hopefully, Ottawa went to the elbow room. There you go. Hopefully, so. Lock of the day, Pens money line. There you go. An all serious lean Pens money line and -1. There you go. Fade the Islanders. Okay. Isles money line. There you go. Islanders money line. Throw up. Yeah, I would throw up if I know. I'm just kidding. I hate it, but just doing opposite of what I think, maybe I'll start winning. You know, there were times where I thought about doing the opposite, and I can't. I can't myself. I can't look at all my stats and tell me to, and then just go the other way. I can't do it. But it is what it is. I feel you, Owen. That this NHL season has been so rough. Horvat and Nelson 3+ shots on goal. Okay. Crosby power play point. Rust power play point. As bad as Pittsburgh power play is under Todd Reardon, New York Islanders penalty kill bottom of the league. Ned save prop. There you go. I like it. I parlayed all dogs today. Hey, I hope that would be a nice cash for you. But every single dog, one of the favorites are going to win at least. So we'll see, though. We'll see. Both of these teams are a mess. Exactly, and that's why I can't back either of them to win. But I'll put a half unit on the draw and see if we can get it. See if we can get the draw. It that like +1. Yeah, it would be extremely high for all dogs, I'm sure. We'll move on along to our fourth game, which is between the Minnesota Wild and the Winnipeg Jets. Minnesota +130 to +130, pretty much in all spots. Winnipeg -139 to -155. Sixes right across the board. There does look like there's some 5.5s available at Pinnacle and maybe some other spots as well. Looking at goaltenders for this game, Marc-Andre Fleury will start. That was the plan. He did come in for the third period in yesterday's game, but will start here in this game. He's been great for the Wild. One of the big reasons why the Wild find themselves 2 points out of a playoff spot is Marc-Andre Fleury. Laurent Brossoit confirmed for Winnipeg, obviously with Hellebuck starting last night and giving up 5 goals. It's no surprise to see Brossoit start here. He's been pretty good most of the season, is coming off a 4-1 loss to Philadelphia where he gave up 4 goals and 21 shots. So a rough game there for Brossoit. How these teams been doing recently? Minnesota 5-0-1 since the All-Star break. As I said, playing great hockey, finding themselves 2 points out of a playoff spot. 6 of their last 8 games have gone under 5.5. Of course, yesterday's game didn't. Winnipeg 3-5-1 in their last 9 games. 1 over, 10 unders, 3 games finished with 6 goals. Winnipeg has won the last 3 meetings between the teams. Minnesota having success before that. No overs, 3 unders, 2 games finished with 6 goals. When I look at this game, it's Wild money line, +135 for me here. As long as the Jets don't hurt Kaprizov, which I will be keeping a very close eye on in this game, as long as they don't hurt Kaprizov and they play a clean game, I think the Wild have a very good chance to win this game. They've lost both games against Winnipeg so far this season. Obviously, Kaprizov getting hurt in the first game and then having to play Winnipeg the next night definitely did not help situations. But this Jets team was playing a lot better during that time. Now they're not playing so well, and this Minnesota team is hot. You can say what you want about the overtime loss to Buffalo, and you can say what you want about yesterday's game. They still found a way to beat the top team in the league by 3 goals. They also were able to beat Vegas Golden Knights in Vegas and score some goals against the number one goaltender in the league so far this year. So I believe the Wild are a live dog in this game. Should not be plus 135 in this spot. I will happily take them here. Looking at the total, I do think we get a lower scoring game here. Obviously, with the 10-7 game yesterday, I do expect the Wild to not score 10 goals, I guess you could say. Winnipeg, after losing 6-3 yesterday, I think both of these teams come into this game with intentions on playing better defensively. The issue, though, is that it is a back-to-back. So I don't necessarily know if the defense is going to be strong in this game. And we are seeing Winnipeg start to score some goals and start to give up more goals. So their under streak may be over as well. So staying far away from the total in this game, but I will take the Wild. I will take the Wild in this game. Looking at player props here, Matt Boldy has a point in 8 of his last 11 games, at least 4 shots on goal in 6 of his last 8, and a goal in 4 of his last 5 games. Kirill Kaprizov, Joel Eriksson Ek, both coming off 6-point games yesterday. Both have points in 11 of their last 13 games. Obviously, all three play on the top line together. All three are on that top power play, which is red hot. The Winnipeg Jets would be smart to stay out of the box in this game. For Winnipeg, Mark Scheifele has a point in 4 of his last 5 games, starting to heat up. Kyle Connor, Gabriel Velarde, both on that top line, are also starting to heat up. Points in back-to-back games. Sean Monahan has a goal in back-to-back games. So those are potential props you could look at here for this game. Salute, Terry. Let's go. Yes, let's go. Hard pass, easiest pass on the card. Yeah, well, no comment, Nick. No comment. You just don't read the Wild very well. Jets money line. Boo. Boo. Okay. Second period over 1.5. There you go. So you think it'll be maybe a lower scoring start and then some goals in the second? Interesting. Wild money line. I like it, Kev. I like it. How does Minnesota travel on back-to-backs? Did they spend all their goals last night? Does Dylan have to answer the bell? From what we've heard from Rick Bowness, he doesn't think that there's going to be any carryover from the previous games these teams have faced each other. And as long as the Jets play a clean game, I think everything will be fine. But if the Jets do what they've done in previous games twice since last season, and that is try to injure Kirill Kaprizov, then this game could very well get out of hand. So we'll just have to see exactly what happens there. Wild over 6.5 power plays. Someone's a little salty. Hey, the way the refs are against the Wild, they were due for a game like yesterday where they finally got some power plays. Try watching every Wild game and then not hating the refs. Scheifele and Monahan props, possibly. If you were looking for Winnipeg players, that's the way I would go. Wild have been playing good hockey lately. Yep, finding ways to win. Maybe not against Buffalo, but Buffalo's been a team, and people, excuse my language, shit on my past history stats or on past history stats in general. But a lot of the time they come through, and that was one of them. Buffalo owns the Wild, but the Wild own Vancouver. So it is what it is. And they have been playing good hockey. And I just think this price is a little bit too high. And I will take the Road Dogs in this one to get some revenge for Kaprizov's injury earlier on in the season. But we'll move on along to our next game, which is Vancouver Canucks plus 120 to plus 126. Colorado Avalanche minus 140 to minus 150. 6.5s right across the board in this game. Looking at goaltenders here, it should be Thatcher Demko, who obviously got the night off yesterday, but is not confirmed, but it'll be Demko. Georgiev confirmed for Colorado in this one. How have these teams been playing recently? Vancouver 3-2-2 in their last 7 games, 2 over, 2 unders, 2 games finished with 6 goals. Colorado 2-4-1 in their last 7 games, 5 of their last 6 games going over 6.5. Vancouver has won 3 of the last 5 games between these teams, 5 overs, 2 unders, 2 games finished with 6 goals here in this one. And this is my Picks and Parlays exclusive play of the day. You can get my play on picksandparlays.net. Link is in the description below. $25 for the play. If it doesn't win, you get your money back as a store credit. I won back-to-back exclusive plays over the last couple shows. 2-1 so far since I started doing the exclusive play. So you can get it over on Picks and Parlays. Link is in the description below for this game. Looking at player props, here JT Miller has a goal in 3 of his last 5, at least 3 shots on goal in 5 of his last 6. Quinn Hughes has a point in 11 of his last 15 games. Niels Höglander, a point in 5 of his last 6. McKinnon has an assist in 3 straight games for the Avalanche, and at least 4 shots on goal in 6 of his last 7. So McKinnon and Miller both shooting the puck a lot lately. Mikko Rantanen also has at least 4 shots on goal in 5 of his last 6 games. So there's some shooters that are doing really well right now for both teams here in this one when it comes to getting shots on goal. Kaprizov revenge goal. And I could see that. I honestly tried to look at props for the Wild and Jets game, and it's like, okay, well, I can't just take Boldy because Ekin Kaprizov will score, and I don't want to take all 3 because I could see a low scoring game, so I'm just not on any. We'll have point props and parlays though. Owen likes the over in this game, over 6.5. Leafs should lose before Riley's return on Thursday, right? Leafs have done very well without Morgan Riley. They did very well without him last year, and they're doing that. That whole thing with Morgan Riley could just galvanize this Leafs team and just have them end their regular season on a much better note than the way things were looking. Whether it carries over to the playoffs, I don't believe that though. Canucks money line. Nick likes the dog in this game. Vancouver team total over 2.5 is minus 160, plus 126. I'm assuming that plus 3 is plus 126. Okay, that makes sense. Boldy, Ek, Kirill, Cookie. Yes. And that's why I said if the Jets are smart, they will stay out of the penalty box because that power play and that top line has been fantastic. Moving on along to our next game, which is between the Nashville Predators and the Vegas Golden Knights. Nashville plus 120 to plus 124. Vegas minus 138 to minus 145. 6s right across the board in this game. I don't believe we have confirmed goaltenders. We do not. UC Saros, Aiden Hill, both unconfirmed here in this game. How these teams been doing recently? Nashville 2-4-1 in their last 7 games, 4 overs, 2 games finished with 6 goals. Vegas 3-2 in their last 5, 4 of their last 5 games going under 5.5. Vegas 7-1-1 in the last 9 games between these teams. They've had a lot of success against the Preds. 2 overs, 2 unders, 1 game finished with 6 goals. How players been doing recently? For the Predators, Tommy Novak has a point in 5 of his last 6 games and a goal in 3 of his last 4. Gustav Nyquist has an assist in 4 of his last 5 games. Roman Josi has an assist in 4 of his last 5 games for the Predators. And that top line for the Vegas Golden Knights that did not find the score sheet yesterday have still been doing very well previously to that. Marchessault a point in 10 of his last 12. Nicholas Waugh a point in 8 of his last 9. Ivan Barbashev a point in 8 of his last 11. Didn't cash yesterday, but I'm going right back to Nicholas Waugh here, over half a point, plus 114, and he does, assuming that there hasn't been any changes, he does center the top line with Marchessault and Ivan Barbashev. So I'll take him for a plus 14 price here against, yeah, they're still here, projected together, that top line against the Nashville Predators that have been giving up goals. So I believe that top line can get on the score sheet. Nicholas Waugh can get a point. Plus 114 is just an excellent price, especially when he has a point in 8 of his last 9 games for the Vegas Golden Knights. Vancouver depth exploits Colorado, even in the altitude. All right. We shall see. We shall see. Vegas money line. All right. I do lean that way. I do. They do. Timothy likes Vegas tonight on the money line. The Preds are 3-5-1 in their last 9 games and have given up at least 4 goals and 7. Yeah, they're giving up a ton of goals. And why am I not on any Nashville Predators props? Because something's telling me that if Adin Hill does play this game, that we see him rebound after his last couple of games. I could see it being tough for the Predators to score a whole lot here in this one. Tim has an alternate account. No, that's a different Tim. Timothy Hake is a different Tim than Tim Earl. There are more than one Tim in this world, IceX. Mr. Ice is doing an Ice Con where all his people are meeting up. We need a Terry Con. Interesting. Tough because obviously we're all over the place. So that's kind of tough though. But hey, maybe one day. Ryan O'Reilly is their consistent point producer down the middle. Where's Shea Theodore? I'm not sure. I believe Theodore's coming back or he has come back. So we'll have to see. Yeah, Tim has an alternate account. Vegas money line parlay. All right, all right. IceX says ew. I guess he's not a fan of Mr. Ice. So IceX, Mr. Ice, not friends. I'm assuming from what I've heard, but there you go. Not everybody likes everybody, unfortunately. But we have one more game left, and then a surprise after that. So, final game of the night, which is between the Columbus Blue Jackets and the LA Kings. Columbus plus 200 to plus 220. LA Kings minus 242 to minus 270. 6.5s right across the board. In this game, do we have goalies here for this one? No. Elvis Merzlikins unconfirmed. Cam Talbot unconfirmed in this game. How have these teams been doing recently? Columbus 3-3-1 in the last 7 games, so not awful, not great, just kind of mediocre. 4 overs, 1 under, 2 games finished with 6 goals. LA has won 5 of their last 6 games and are starting to get a better lead there in that second wildcard spot, or in the first wildcard spot. 5 overs, 3 unders, 2 games finished with 6 goals. LA 4-0-1 in the last 5 games between the teams. 4 of the last 7 have gone to overtime. So surprisingly, we do see a lot of very close scoring games between these teams. 3 of the last 5 games going over 6.5. What players are hot? Well, for me, there's some Columbus players here doing really well. Johnny Gaudreau has an assist in 6 straight games for the Columbus Blue Jackets. Zach Werenski has a point in 6 of his last 7. Don't have him on here. He's minus 105 to get a point. So very good price for having a point in 6 of his last 7 games. He's got at least 3 shots on goal in 5 straight and at least 5 shots on goal in 4 of his last 5 games. Werenski is shooting the puck He's assisting, he's not scoring, but he's shooting the puck a lot. Dmitry Voronkov has a goal in 3 of his last 4. Boone Jenner has a goal in 4 straight games for the Columbus Blue Jackets. So I will take the captain, Boone Jenner, anytime goal plus 250, and I'll take an assist by his line mate, Johnny Gaudreau, both on big streaks here. Plus 250 for Boone Jenner at Bet365, plus 150 for Johnny Gaudreau, assist at Bet365 here. For the Kings, Kempe has a point, 3 of his last 5, 3 shots on goal in 8 of his last 10. Anze Kopitar, a point in 4 of his last 5 games for the LA Kings. And yeah, I like some Columbus props. Just there's a ton of value on them, so that's why I'm taking them here in this game. A surprise. Yes, a surprise. Why, LOL, why don't you like Mr. Ice? Who knows? Columbus plus 1.5? I could see that. I could. The way these teams go to overtime. No, I'm not in the draw, but won't shock me to see the draw here. Pierre-Luc Dubois versus one of his former teams. Too bad the kid has no drive. Yeah, can't look at him. Kempe 3+ shots to goal. Byfield point. Gaudreau anytime assist, and Boone Jenner money. Yes, that's what I like today. But are we ready for the surprise? Owen will be happy, and some viewers of the show will be happy. We're going to see how it goes, but I'm doing a parlay of the day. So today there is a parlay of the day. I can't promise that I'm going to do it every day. We'll see how it goes. But my parlay of the day today, Matthew Tkachuk over half a point, and Joel Eriksson over half a point at DraftKings plus 127 for both players to get a goal or an assist. I really like both players lately, and I'll take them both here to get a point in a parlay. Plus 127 for my parlay of the day. I like Dmitry Voronkov. He's a big kid. He's playing very well. The Jackets are my team. All right. Yeah. And Timothy, you guys have a bright future. I talk about the Wild having a bright future. The Columbus Blue Jackets are just filled with prospects everywhere. All they have is good prospects. So Columbus is a team like the Wild that haven't had very much success, especially in the playoffs. I can see that changing here in a few years, just a few more years to be patient. And your Blue Jackets, I think, are going to be a very good team if the new general manager that comes in does a good job. Parlay, parlay, parlay. Yes. Yes. Parlay of the day. That's a very solid parlay, says Tommy. Thank you. I do like it. Looking, fingers crossed. There you go. Yes, fingers crossed. Just need a Tkachuk point and an Eriksson point. And cash that plus 127. But that's today's show. Thank you everyone for watching. Hit the like and subscribe button. Lots of picks given out on today's show. If you do want my premium play in the Vancouver, Colorado game, as I said, it's available on picksandparlays.net. The link is in the description below. $25 for the play. Try to make it 3-0 in my last 3. But that is today's show. Best of luck to everyone on your bets tonight. Let's all make some money. And we will see you guys on the next show. Thanks for the parlay. No problem, Juan. I know a lot of people want parlays, so maybe I'll do a parlay of the day every day, and we'll see how it goes. Thanks, and best of luck. Yes, best of luck, everyone.